Sure is like this is a good location. Like it's pretty quiet. Like
It's pretty
have you been
chill.
here before?
Cadman Plaza?
Yeah,
No, this is my first
I've
time
never
around
been
the
here,
block. This is my first
and it's
time here.
crazy because it's so close to like Brooklyn Ridge Park.
It's so close to all the nice
Yeah, all the nice
locations.
areas, but I just never been
Shoot.
to this exact one.
Me neither.
Yeah,
All right, I'm ready for my intro.
I bet.
Welcome back, everyone. Episode 5 of Mortal Mindset. Today I have a special guest, good friend of mine, also just an overall great individual. He's in everything and everywhere. The dude's a model. The dude does crazy internships everywhere. I think you could know him, but just to introduce my next guest, Maliq. What's up?
Bro,
How you
I
been, bro?
appreciate the intro.
we'll
That
give
was
we'll
that
give you
was
the
tough. That was
give you the
tough.
dap of
Yeah,
truth,
like
bro. The
yeah,
dap of
I
truth.
appreciate that intro.
No problem, bro. And I guess just to kick things off, something light. I just want you to just talk to me about, where you're from and give me a little bit about your upbringing, okay?
Well, to get started, Maliq Royer-Crann. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised, specifically Flatbush. Shout out Brooklyn, best borough. You know.
Yeah, I
Come on,
know. What?
shout out Brooklyn. My background's a little more complex. My mom's from England, but her background is Jamaican, and then my dad's from Trinidad. So Caribbean, Caribbean background.
That's valid. I also got that too. DR, where you at? All
Bro,
right.
I think I got a thing for Dominicans because like 80% of like my friends at Baruch are Dominican. I don't know if I have like a weird connection with the Dominican people in general,
I
but
think
like
the vibes are just there.
yeah, like I don't know.
It's
Maybe
that
it's a Caribbean
it's
thing.
that
Yeah,
Caribbean,
that Caribbean
it's that
connection.
island connection,
Bro,
man.
facts.
Everything is everywhere together.
Facts. But nah.
So, I mean, just something to start off a little bit like more on you.
Mhm.
Uh, what is something you feel right now that you've currently done, or something that you're into recently that you
Mhm.
just started, or
Honestly, I'd say my brand that I've kind of built on. I started it about a year ago, but like I feel like recently I'm just kind of trying to rebrand it and build more on it. And I think the thing about this brand, it's called REQOGNIZE, by the way, is that it's not like an ordinary brand where it's like, okay, focusing on one thing. I kind of want it to be like multiple things. Like I want it to be a little like creative projects, like short films, short videos, or like photo shoots. Maybe even a clothing brand in the future. Like eventually, I want to get to the point where like I'm writing books. Like I know that sounds like a lot, and it doesn't sound like it's like focused, but that's kind of like what I've been really into at the moment. Something I think about a lot, and something I really want to build on.
I think that the brand idea is perfect.
Mhm.
Personal brands are everything now. I feel that with the uprising of social media influencers and
Mhm.
people stepping up to the plate, helping people out, helping people aspire to get their interests involved in their life. Being a book writer is like telling a story and creating a narrative for someone,
100%.
anything that starts with words and anything that portrays an idea. I think several people have those ideas already in mind, and you being the voice and advocate for that sounds like an amazing idea. What inspired you to get like a personal brand going though?
Honestly, I think the people around me for sure. Like my mom, she's a book writer, and a lot of the books she writes children's books, but a lot of the books that she writes are mainly for like children of color, children that struggle to find their identity, just values that people. I feel like you should build on from like a young age, and some people these are values that adults don't have. Like I think that's kind of like that really makes me want to build a personal brand for myself because I'm learning from all these different people. I feel like whether it's celebrities, people in my life, like I want to learn like these values from them so I can build onto my personal brand, and it really just makes me who I am. Like for example, with Recognize, three of the biggest values of Recognize are creativity, innovation, and just identity. Like with the book that I mentioned with Recognize, I want to start. I want to do something that talks about the identity of like people not knowing their identity. For example, like I'll talk about my mom again. She was born in England, right? But she comes from a Caribbean background. You see, there's a struggle with that line. Like, for example, in England, there's not a lot of black people. But in the Caribbean, whenever she used to go to the Caribbean, she was too British for them. She had that accent. She didn't have the same upbringing as them. So she's not black enough. But when you talk about her living in England, she's too black for all the people that she's surrounded by. She's different. So it's just like that struggle in that identity, finding that identity, and I think your upbringing has a lot to do with that. So I think that's kind of what I'm really trying to build on with Recognize.
So when you're doing Recognize and you're
Mhm.
talking to me about innovation, what is something that you want to innovate in particular in people's lives that you feel that can relate to that story about your mom, or maybe even other things that happened so far that you know want to take advantage, that and you
Mhm.
want to apply to whatever you're trying to pursue?
I think really just trying to be, this kind of taps into the identity thing, but really just trying to be like who you are. A lot of people try to be something that they're not, be something that they think is cool, but really tapping in, doing things that you like, doing things that, like for example, like versatility. Like if you are interested, a lot of people like are interested in, like, let's say like sports for example, but you can be interested in multiple things too. Just trying, putting things together. I want to be someone that can do everything. Like versatility is everything. That's kind of like the innovation. That's kind of like what I mean by innovation. Just doing something that, like, I'm kind of yapping a little bit, but
Nah,
yeah, like
dude, this is excellent stuff. Come on, keep going.
like doing something that like launches to everything. Like
You want to reach everyone in
yeah,
any
I want to,
way.
yeah, like
You want to get to
reach every
people.
point. Like
Yes, yes, yes,
touch
yes.
every string. Yeah,
I
bro.
love that because I feel that there is more than one way to touch an individual, right? Like emotionally, find ways to interact with them, go to events, meet them physically. Like there are a million ways that people like bond
Mm-hmm.
and find deep mutual connections, even close friendships.
That's facts.
Like I feel like along that journey that you're going to have in your life or whatever you continue to do with this, I think that it's an excellent opportunity for you to develop amazing relationships. I feel like relationship building is what helps build any big, I guess, organization, any big company.
That's
Like you
true.
need to have all those people in the right way, in the right mind, doing what they do best. Because
That's true.
that's the only way. You can't convince everybody to do what you're doing, but you can convince them to help you by helping them become better people in whatever they're doing.
100%. If you encourage people to be their best selves, then it will be the best for the overall team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it boosts everything about you and your company. So just to, let's keep moving forward a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
How can like you bring this to like the college level, or how did you bring it? That's a better question.
Mm-hmm.
How did you bring it into college, having an idea that you wanted to create a personal brand? How was it like when you entered Baruch and you felt that this was your mission?
Honestly, I think going into Baruch, I feel like comparing the mindset that I had when I entered Baruch compared to now is very different, honestly. When I entered Baruch, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I had an idea that I wanted to work within business, have do something creative, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. With like throughout my journey,
My journey.
throughout my journey, I met a bunch of people that have, what I really like about Baruch is everyone's doing their own thing. Everyone has that. It's like a little competitive edge, but like everyone has something going for them, which I really appreciate. And for me, I feel like seeing that really made me want to just like, okay, build on that brand. Like everyone has their own story. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
has their upbringing, different upbringings, their own values.
Mm-hmm.
What about me? Like I want to build on that and really like
Empathize with that
yeah,
emotion.
word,
Yes.
like really connect with people on that level. Like when I have conversations with people, I want to get to know that side of them, what really makes them them. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
I feel that when you create something, right? Or whenever you're going to build something bigger. Hold on, let's just take a pause. All right, little break. Little break. Hi,
mm-hmm,
how you doing? Um, when you're taking advantage of an idea, especially when it's born,
mm-hmm,
and you initially like confused and not really sure like how you were gonna put this plan into placement specifically, I feel that the things that you should stick with are the things that obviously like you grew up with, right? And those things are going to kind of like line up in a way that you never expected to,
facts.
because they always come back. I feel that everything that I've learned in my life has eventually made sense at some point, because whatever initially didn't make sense to me eventually played its role in my life in some way, either a friendship, like a coworker, or even like I guess like colleagues that I've had in school like have come around the block and have asked me and I've approached them. It's amazing how things come full circle. So like I guess over the course of college, I mean you're obviously in a different situation now. So what has changed?
Um, a lot. Like one being the relationships I have with people. I feel like I've gained like when I have a relationship, I think the relationship I'm in now has changed me a lot. It's made me more disciplined, more responsible, a lot more mature than I was prior to entering Baruch. I think being around a lot of people that are like doing a lot of things, great things for themselves, it's kind of put me in the position like, okay, now I want to do great things for myself as well. And honestly, a lot of great opportunities have come from this as well. Like for like even joining clubs, organizations at school, or internships outside of school, any opportunities. It's brought a lot of blessings in my life. Really grateful for all of them. Um, yeah,
I feel like something that I wanted to mention, I guess, at some point is
mm-hmm.
like we're all grateful for the yeses, but nobody's really grateful for the no's.
Yo,
There are a lot of
it's
no's
true.
that you get when you're trying to go somewhere. And the no's should be powerful for you because just as well as somebody accepts you into their community, or the same way that you get accepted into a club,
Mm-hmm.
and these and communities open you up with like good arms and people trying to help you get better in life, the people that said no to you equally, I feel, teach you that you just have to keep trying. They teach you that and things in life don't always go your way, and it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't always go as expected.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are blessings in disguise everywhere.
That's true. I feel like some of the best blessings come out of nowhere randomly as well. Like there's no success without failures in life. I think I'm really appreciative of
Okay.
the failures that I've had because without them I probably wouldn't be where I am today. Bro, honestly, like a lot of the things I've been through growing up in college on this journey, like bro, like if I didn't learn from those mistakes, from those lessons, I probably would be doing the same nonsense that I was doing in high school, in middle school. Like I'm really appreciative of all the failures, the no's for sure,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, like
What is a quote that you live by? Something
mhm.
that you feel connects with you, resonates with you on a deeper level.
I really say life is what you really make it.
Okay.
Life is everything that you make it, and what I mean by that is that goes in hand with like relationships, the way you treat someone. If you're giving your all into a relationship, if you're not giving your all in a relationship, how can you expect the most out of it? How can you expect to be successful if you're not giving your all into what you're doing? If you're not dedicated, if you don't have discipline, how do you expect to live with that? If you want to be the best at something, if you want to be a millionaire, then why are you putting your dedication into that? Why are you disciplined? Why are you actively looking for knowledge to get better?
Mhm.
I think that's something really resonates with me for sure.
You know what's funny on everybody's journey to becoming a millionaire?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody really understands that being a millionaire is the reason why you are to that spot, to that tier, is because there are multiple steps or multiple stages I feel that you need to really go through before anything truly great happens to you. I don't feel like anything great happens to people by accident. And I
Yeah,
don't feel like anything great happens to people because they did one thing right.
that's true.
Because
The
I feel like
process.
everything is a chain reaction. You do one thing and it eventually leads to another.
Mm-hmm.
And once you do that other thing, eventually it leads to another. And as you continue to climb that staircase of doing well for yourself, helping the people around you, I feel like all it does is just open those doors eventually. Like it's like a master door. I feel like being a millionaire is almost like having a door with like so many locks, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's combos, there's a fingerprint. I mean, damn, there's a chain on it and everything. Like there's a million obstacles that you're gonna face, and the obstacles that you go through are what's going to help you open those doors. And you know what's crazy is when you walk through that door, there's going to be another hallway with another door at the end of it.
That's
Because I
true.
don't think life ends when you reach a goal. I think life ends when you stop reaching for goals.
I bro, I think that's something that resonates with me OD because I don't think I'll ever be satisfied. This sounds kind of bad, but I don't think I'll ever be satisfied with just accomplishing one goal. Like every time I accomplish something, I want to do more. I want better for myself. And yeah, I'm appreciative for all the goals that I have accomplished, all the blessings that I have, but that doesn't mean that I want to stop here. It's something I want to continue on, and I'm grateful for the path. Whatever path I have, I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, the growth mindset is always great
100%.
because I think that, you know, everything eventually does play its its role. I keep saying it, but I think that it's such an emphasis on that because people tend to get down on certain things that go on in life, and people tend to get so emotional in the moment. I feel like it's important to embrace those like breakdown moments the same way that you embrace the moments that are spectacular and
Embrace your highs and lows.
and your
Yeah.
lows, because there will always be a low and there will always be a high. I feel like we can't really rely on them too much. Like you said, discipline. A characteristic that everybody should adopt is keeping things the same no matter what the situation is.
Right.
Your work ethic shouldn't change because the situations around you are changing. I feel like it should be more of a boost to get you ahead. It should be a boost to put you in those rooms.
It's really not how you it's really about how you come back from failure. It's not about what the failure was, how bad it was, how bad it affected you. It's how you come back from it. If you can bounce back and come back even better and stronger, then that's what matters.
Yeah.
You're gonna have failures regardless. Like you can look at some of the most successful people in the world. Look at LeBron James, for example. You know, like what, back in like I think 2011 when he lost in the finals, bro. You know, he's been through so many downs in his career, but then if you look at all the successes, it outweighs the downs. Like
you need to lose in order to win.
Yeah, 100%.
You need to get to a certain point. I feel like that happens only though when you kind of lose yourself just a little bit. Like I feel like the same way that you catch momentum forward, it's the same way sometimes you catch momentum going down.
Yeah.
Like, and the greatest part about catching that momentum down is the ability to recognize that you were down in the first place. If you don't recognize that the steps you were taking weren't leading you in the right direction, I think it's equally as bad as keep walking down and just knowing that it exists but not doing anything about it.
That's true, yeah.
Like the recognition behind your actions are always going to be better than the actions that you took, not recognizing them in the first place.
Yo, 100%. Yeah, like, bro, that's so true. Like
it'll be evil. It'll be so brutal for yourself to take it one day when you finally wake up, but knowing that you could have earlier but didn't take the initiative to change your life.
That's true. Yo, I'm
go ahead,
blanking.
say it.
Like, it's like I want to say so much, but I'm like blanking. It's crazy. But like,
yeah, go ahead,
like,
bro.
Honestly, like people always make the excuse that you can't change your life, bro. You can change your life at any given moment. It's really about what the amount of work that you're willing to put in. And that's why that quote really resonates with me, because if you don't make the most out of changing your life, then how do you expect to change it? Like, people, bro, I've seen some of the craziest like roasters. If you look at some celebrities, bro, like I'm gonna say another basketball player, Jimmy Butler, bro, he was homeless. Like, you can really change your life anyhow. The people in your life can help you change your life as well. Your life can change. Just put in the work, put in the dedication, discipline. There's so many things that go into it, but the knowledge, keep trying to grow it. You're never gonna stop growing, but just keep.
Never give up.
Yeah, never give up.
Never give up. So
it's cliche, but never give up for sure.
So never giving up, right? Discipline. Characteristics of growth. Having a mindset that changes for the better. How has all of that been applied into the outlook of your career going forward?
Same thing, like similar to what I said before. Just I want to be the type of person that does everything. Like, I don't want to just stop at. I don't think I'll be satisfied with just accomplishing one of my goals. Like, yeah, I'm in college. I hope to work in a career. I'm like work within marketing, advertising. Hopefully, I get into a career like that. But I also want to make films at one point. I want to build on the brand that I created. I want to continue my modeling career. These are just things that I want to continue, and growth and dedication is gonna get me to this point. I don't think I can without it. Honestly, it's not gonna be given to me, so I have to get it for myself.
It reminds me of that one Kanye West quote. He was like, "I was taught that I could do anything." Right?
Yo.
He was taught that he was able to go for whatever he wanted to do, and I guess I see a little Kanye West in you, my boy.
as cliche as it sounds, you really can do whatever you put your mind to. If you like, it's an excuse that you can't do anything, because if you're not putting your mind to anything, then if you're not actively trying to be the best at anything, it's because you don't want to. It's because you're making excuses for yourself. Because really and truly, you can really do anything you put your mind to.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I agree 100%. I think all that stuff is mind. It's experience. It's life changing, and the things and the accomplishments, the lows, all that stuff is meant to develop you into the person that God wants you to be. I mean, speaking of God, I don't know if you're religious or not. I didn't ask, but
yeah, I actually grew up in a religious household, a Christian household, and honestly, growing up, I wouldn't say that I was super religious. I don't think I had the closest connection to God. I still had a relationship with God, But until I would say this year I really developed a close relationship with God, and I give big props to my younger brother for that because I don't know, he has a really strong relationship with God. He goes to church every week. He prays before he eats. He's never embarrassed to show his religion, and I don't know, that made me like it impressed me a lot. I'm not gonna lie because he's what like 12 years old, and a lot of kids are embarrassed to show their religion. A lot of adults are embarrassed to show their faith, show who they really are, what they grew up on, and that made me want to develop a stronger relationship with God, and really realize how blessed I am.
Yeah.
Like,
Count your blessings every day.
yo, like we like complain about stuff that we don't have and things that we like, let's say we didn't accomplish something that we didn't want to, but bro, we're really blessed. We live in the best city in the world. We go to college, bro. Some people don't know if they're gonna wake up tomorrow
Bro,
morning.
look at the way we're dressed, man.
Bro,
It's,
like
it's a blessing to even look like this because I feel that, like you said, there are countless things that we should be grateful for that I feel like a lot of people aren't because I believe that what society does is make things like kind of like normalized. And what they do is they take people to normalize them. And since those people already have an audience or look up to them, they follow or kind of replicate their characteristics in a way. If you see people that you look up to like lose faith, or you see people that you look up to like struggle with identity
yeah,
or struggle with these issues because of anything that they've not resolved in the past or issues that they've never tackled, when it happened. I think that all of that has repercussions on the people that look up to you. And that's why I try my best online. Like I realized that like over the course of like the years, like whatever you put out there, like it becomes who you are, and people become too comfortable in certain things. And I believe that it's important to constantly maintain something that's admirable.
that's
Like you
true.
need to take something strong that you have and carry it like a flag. Like you know what I mean? Like your country. Like something that's so embedded in you. Because if you don't take it and hold it with all your might, people are always going to try to break you down
That's true.
and take what you have. And I feel like that selfish nature comes from the fact that they're just afraid. They're afraid that, you might be better than them. Or they're afraid that they don't have the courage to get up and do it themselves. And I know I don't want to talk much about failures because, I like praising, but I feel that I've had enough fair shares of people and enough fair shares of situations that I own up to. Oh, sorry, Mike. That I own up to because I believe it just makes you stronger. If you just accept the things that go wrong and you make your rights, accountability, it just makes you an overall better professional because not everybody's going to have the right answer, right? You're never going to always going to make the right choice.
Oh no, like failure is bound to happen. Mistakes are bound to happen. It's all about the decisions and realizing, okay, maybe I messed up. Taking accountability, I think that's a big value to have as a man in general. As a person, of course, but as a man specifically, because if you look at the impact that you could have on other people, if you're, for example, do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I'm the oldest, so
Same,
you can imagine.
bro. Like, imagine if you were out here not doing, like, doing a whole bunch of bad things that you know you shouldn't really be doing, and you're putting that image. Your siblings probably look up to you. If you if you're like going around doing things that you shouldn't be doing, I'm gonna say quote unquote because everyone has
Viewer discretion.
own beliefs, but it's just gonna put them on the wrong path. And even the way that you communicate with people, like let's say you're disrespectful to someone or you're not. I'm losing my train of thought. Damn.
Nah, it's cool, man.
Yeah.
I get it. You got to watch what you do.
Yeah.
You got to be careful with who's looking at you because there's always somebody going to be looking at you, man. I feel like I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the spotlight has been on you, bro, for a little while, and I mean, I think that it's important that sometimes you get that recognition. So I wanted to let you know that on camera that I appreciate the impact that you're currently having on the Baruch community.
I appreciate it. I didn't realize that. I guess you really don't realize the impact that you have on other people until like they really communicate that with you. Like, because I guess everyone thinks like you ever heard that phrase like you're 3 times more attractive to, or is it three? I think it's 3 times or 3%, but you're 3 times more attractive to other people than you are to yourself. And I don't mean that like in a physical way. I mean that more so like just the type of person that you are. Like, yeah, like bro, like even with you, like you don't realize that the impact that your podcast is having on other people. People might be watching it on you at home, realize really like resonating with all the guests that you have, the things that you're saying, the values, and really thinking about changing their life. and you might not even realize that because you're just like, just making videos.
I never said why I started this podcast,
Mhm.
and I will at some point, but it's not because like I want to, you know, get any attention. I feel
Mhm.
like public knowledge is fair.
Mhm.
I feel that speaking out on things that should be talked about is fair.
Mhm.
The people that I bring on here who inspire other people is fair. And I just want to bring that fairness to the community that we are a part of. Because I think that the reputation of Baruch and its silence and its communities that don't engage,
Mhm.
or the people that, don't really stand out, I feel like all that is kind of like a myth.
It is.
And I believe that the people who are a part of this community is what makes it so strong.
Mhm.
And since
100%.
everybody believes that it doesn't exist, but we all know within the Baruch community that it does, it's more power to us
Mhm.
because it makes our connections a lot stronger. I
Mhm.
feel like Bearcats stick together, right? And we should embody that, even though like the reputation CUNY has about like, oh, like,
Commuter school. Da
commuter
da
school,
da.
like we all bust our ass and get up every day to go to
Bro,
that college.
facts.
And like we all work our jobs, we all do our internships, and we all still find a way to get the grades that we get and still put in the effort that we do every day.
The dedication. No, bro, I respect so many people at Baruch just because of. I appreciate the dedication. Like, bro, entering Baruch, I was a little nervous about it being a commuter school because the college experience, going away for college. That's what I was thinking about. But I'm so glad that I decided to go to Baruch. I think it was one of the better decisions I made, like leaving high school, mainly because of the fact that I'm surrounded by a great network of people. I think my mindset has changed for the better. I feel like I'm more purpose driven, more so than I was before,
Mm-hmm.
and it gave me a chance to mature, realize that, and also 100%, bro, it's debt free. Like I'm saving so much bread. Like, bro, people really pay like a lot of money to go to college. Like that's a big, like we're going to one of the top schools in the city for free. Well, I don't know if everyone goes for free, but
I don't go for free.
yeah,
Unfortunately, I don't go for free. But I believe it should be free.
school should be free.
I
It don't
believe
matter what school you go to. It should be
it.
free. That's a conversation for another time because
I don't want to get
school,
political on
yeah,
my podcast yet. I can't do
school should
anything
100%
political
be
yet.
free, but
But I
unfortunately, you
agree.
don't
I
live in
I
a
a
free world.
100% agree. I feel like not every situation is clear. Let's
Hmm.
just put it that way. I feel like everything isn't black and white in
Hmm.
life, on paper, financially.
Most things are gray.
Most things are gray.
Hmm.
I don't want to talk about my financials like that, but
Hmm.
I know my situation is gray.
Yeah.
And, I'm not one to complain. And I'm not one to, like, I get things done,
Hmm.
as long as, like, I walk upstairs to the 8th or 9th floor to the bursar's office and I
Hmm.
drop my check there, like, I take some kind of pride in paying for my education.
Right.
Because it's like, not only am I getting this education, but nobody's handing it to me.
That's true. You're working for it,
Yeah.
bro. Knowledge is so important, and people don't realize how important knowledge is. And I feel like a big thing about Baruch is that I feel like a lot of the things I've learned about myself hasn't even been through classes. It's been through the people at Baruch, the organizations, the clubs, just
The
hanging
leaders.
around campus. The leaders at Baruch.
Shout out Keith, real quick.
Oh, I
That's my
love Keith.
boy.
I love Keith. Congratulations, Keith, bro. Big AMA.
Big
But
AMA.
yeah, the leaders at Baruch for sure. Like the network, the people that you surround yourself with, they really influence you, and they make you better. They make you a better person. Not just a better leader, but a better person.
I think that the time that you spent in university, I
Hmm.
felt initially was like, wow, like what a like the biggest waste of my life. Like I feel like this is like almost like your hallway pass to getting
Hmm.
into corporate America, and the people and the things you meet there are basically pointless
Hmm.
for whatever reason. I can name a million, whatever I want to complain on a bad day. But I think that all it does is truly humble you to the realities of life. That there are people out there that don't get the opportunity that we have. I feel like the situation that we're in, the youth that we still have, I think we're very young. We have a lot of time left on this earth, hopefully, God willingly.
Oh yeah,
And, I just believe that all that stuff comes around only once.
bro. We're young people of color. Like 30 years ago, 20 years ago, I don't know how long ago, but bro, people didn't have this opportunity. We are granted the opportunity that many people didn't have, and I think it's something that should be really appreciated and taken advantage of. The opportunities that we have now should be we should take 100% advantage of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree 100%. Advantage over the disadvantages.
Mm,
I don't count what goes wrong in my life. I count the things that I have on my plate.
that's true. Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I wanted to bring up a little bit about like your internships a little bit
Hmm.
cuz I feel like these experiences are short-lived
Hmm.
and they're truthfully impactful. So, if you would like to mention one of any of your choice and go along with it.
Yeah. I feel like internships are interesting to me because it's like a footstep into the corporate world. Like you don't have a full time position. You're not completely dedicated to the job, but it's like you're getting a taste of what it's going to be like. One being one internship that I like honestly a great experience was when I did one earlier this year in January when I went to England. I worked the internship. Shout out to my uncle because he helped me get this opportunity. But basically I worked. It was like project management, so I worked in housing. It was like a real estate internship, and I haven't really. That's not my major. That's not my focus in college. But I wanted to do this internship because it seemed like a great experience to work with people that knew about real estate, something that my dad he actually does. So I kind of had a little curiosity with real estate, and also we were working with nonprofit organizations. We were trying to help people that are less fortunate. So if I'm able to go out there, I didn't even get paid for this internship. Like I went out there and wanted to help people in need, like in small in lower communities. People we set up food like food drives, clothing drives, things to just help people in positions that are unfortunate in any way that we can. So I think it was a real life changing experience because I really got to see like what life is like in other countries because not everyone is blessed and is as blessed as you and has the opportunities that you're given. It's like it shifted the mindset a little bit. You know what I mean? And even like the coworkers that I worked in Sheffield. It's like a small city in England. They were like always talking about like, oh wow, like you live in New York. I wonder what it's like working in a big city. Like, I really had to think about it. Like, wow, like I really live in like one of the biggest cities in the world, and like, this is a country
The
that people,
capitals of the
yeah,
world.
bro, this is a country that people around the world dream to come to just because they want a better life for themselves. Like people in England, like even if they have the same work ethic, they might not even have the opportunities that I have just because I live in New York and I'm surrounded by you know a network of people that work in corporate America, have connections to all sorts of people, big famous people across the world. Like people in smaller places in England or anywhere in the world don't have those opportunities. And I think it was just a blessing to. It really made me want to count my blessings, like for sure. Like
Yeah,
real
bring.
life changing experience.
I think that it's humbling. I think that
Very.
when I used to volunteer, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm down anytime, but
Mm-hmm.
I used to do a lot of volunteer work. And one thing that I learned a lot about stepping up for people is, like you said, it brings you a different perspective on life.
Mm-hmm.
It brings you into the reality that although like things may not look good for you at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
there are people in the world that just don't have it at all for as long as they can remember and
Yo.
would pray for an opportunity to take advantage of something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I love also how the world looks at New York and the people that live in it because although we are truly blessed, when we're looking at in our eyes we're like we're here but we're not really
Yeah, but
here.
like we don't feel it.
Like I don't have an apartment like in
Yeah,
central next to
like
Central Park yet, but it's like imagine if that's what we're going for. Like and those are the things that could be possible for
mm,
us one day. You know? You could imagine like what it feels like to somebody in another country and or even in
yo,
another state, you know, like
the way they were talking about America, because I don't know, I was talking to like one of my coworkers over there. I think in her eyes, she thought that like America's like a little it's really small. Because she was like, oh, like you probably go to California. I was like, California across the country, but like that's a whole different thing. But it's like they think of New York as like some big place where like you had handed so many opportunities, everything's amazing. Like yeah, like New York is great, but like you said, like we don't think of it like that just because we live here and like we're accustomed to how we grew up.
a different lifestyle.
Yeah,
And it's like
very.
these lifestyles um it's important that everybody gets a chance to get across the ocean or to go to a different country.
That's why I'm big on traveling for sure, just so I
Yeah.
can really see the culture and the lifestyles
I'm
for
big on
different
that
people across
too.
the world.
I'm super big. I'm super big on traveling.
Mm.
I don't know. I'm thinking like next year. Like I'm trying to get a group of people together and like
Bro,
vlog like all these
that'd be
trips.
dope.
Like, you know, talk to people that we never talked
What's your top
before.
place that you want to go to?
Uh
Like top five.
top 5.
Mhm.
Okay. So I wanted to go number 1 to Spain. Number 1 to Spain for me.
Mhm.
Um I guess number 2 would be like Italy.
Italy. My mom just came from Italy.
Italy's fire.
Mhm.
I want to go to like Switzerland or like somewhere
I
like
heard it's really
east.
nice over there.
Yeah, like just to see, you know, I want to see what quality of life is in other countries
Yeah.
because you can feel like the shift
Mhm.
and the shift of life in other countries across the ocean. Like
Mhm.
even like in the Caribbean, like when I went back to DR, like I remember like seeing so many things that like are like it looks like so I don't want to say different. There's a better word to use. People are accustomed to so many different things and getting the taste of that is awing because it's like the people that you interact with
Mhm.
not only speak a different language than you, but they live in completely different ways and that you would have never thought that anybody could live
Right.
because it's never crossed your mind because you're so focused on, you know, getting what you need to be or being in places that require your attention.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But it's like really taking a step back sometimes and really realizing, okay, we live a completely different lifestyle. How do I communicate with them? How do I really connect with them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
connection is key,
Yeah.
even across the ocean.
Real shit. Yeah. Like yeah.
Okay. I guess I want to like just speak about more anything that you have to say freely because you've answered my questions, so
Okay.
it's awesome.
Um.
Let's go. Off. This is off script. I'm closing my notebook. We're gonna just go off script now.
Honestly, I kind of want to talk. I wanted to touch about a few things. One being, I want to talk about one of the organizations that I'm in on campus. That I think, honestly, you probably like. I think it'd be a great organization for you. It's called the Urban Male Leadership Academy. Bro, I joined it last year. I'm a part of the advisory board now. Shout out to Sasha. She's the director of the program. But it's basically like organization that empowers and supports young men of color. And I think that's something so important to have, especially at Baruch, because like we're bro, I've done like all these experiences. There's not like out of every experience I've had, internships, jobs, clubs, whatever, there's never been an experience like this. And I probably can't even like my words probably can't really express how great of a program this is. But it's really like as a man of color, a young man of color, like we're really not taught a lot of things in society. We're basically like the at the bottom of the pyramid, like and UMLA we have these conversations that it's like psychology. They really have these conversations that you get to connect with other young men of color and build each other up, support each other, and really get each other to the next level because we want to be better than our previous generation. We want to be the next great fathers of the world, the next great leaders of the world. So
Amen.
I really appreciate that organization. I just wanted to shout them out real quick.
Shout them out for that.
Yeah.
I guess one thing that I saw a lot was like I guess what caught my attention about you initially was like the modeling gigs that you decided to like be part of.
Yeah. Modeling's been something I've been interested in for a few years now, probably about 3 years. I started off modeling. Shout out to my friend Stunner. I always got Stunner on. He is a friend of mine that has his own brand, Stunner Garments. I look up to him a lot, like truly because he's an entrepreneur, that a black entrepreneur that really just strives to make his business his own. He doesn't care about other people. He doesn't care about what other people think. He just wants to have the best quality of clothing, bro. Like, and his clothing is fire. So he basically I started modeling just through like his brand, trying on his clothing for photo shoots, and I just like really found a love for it.
Mhm.
And I've been told that I should try modeling, try acting. Not so keen on acting. I mean, I'll try maybe in the future, but modeling for sure. Definitely just like taking pictures. Like I'm into fashion, so I like trying on new clothes. So I think it was just a great experience. And then eventually, like my modeling career started growing and growing, and it still has a long way to go. There's still I'm not like a sign model or anything that to a company, but shoot, I want to
It's a
learn a lot
big
more.
journey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
um, like shout out to Parker.
Yeah, I love Parker.
Bro, shout out Parker. Like, bro, I seen his modeling journey. Like, it's
Yeah.
impressive. Like, it's fire.
Yeah, no, he does, and he has
Yeah.
that platform.
Yeah. Like
Parker,
bro,
I'm after you, man. Don't run from me,
you
okay?
next, my boy.
But no, acting I used to be part of, like
Mhm.
lightly, you know, like
Mhm.
back in the day. I would do children's theater, like as a kid,
Oh, that's dope.
like early, like in my years. Like I feel like it's part of like what I love because I love just performing.
Bro, we
Like
gotta get
and
you in a recognized short film, like or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, like AMA did that for
Yo,
me.
the podcast,
The
the AMA
podcast
podcast was
the
dope.
the
Yeah.
podcast really brought out like some good things. Like I
Mhm.
shout out Jesse, shout out Sophia,
Mhm.
Keith, everybody in production, Alicia, like people
Bro,
who
shout
I've
out AMA, bro.
AMA in total is
AMA is so
amazing,
goaded.
right? But they really took that. Like I approached them on some like, yo, I need something
Mhm.
that is related to this. You
Mhm.
got it for me, and like they immediately like they trusted me. Like they were like, yeah, we'll give you the shot. Like we'll see like how you do and stuff. And I feel like I did them justice like all year, all semester, and
Bro, 100%.
I didn't know if that was exactly
I
what they
was
were looking
genuinely
for.
watching the podcast and enjoying it. Like,
It's
bro,
fun.
it's
Jesse is an amazing producer.
bro,
I think that
fire editor too.
fire
Yeah.
editor, the new media like partner, like what is
Mhm.
it like the new media chair.
I know,
So
yeah.
he's great.
Social media director, I think.
Yeah, the
Yeah, something like that.
director,
Yeah, like, bro,
awesome, well deserved.
100% deserved it. Yeah.
And like the podcast was another great way to get myself out there because I've always done like any kind of like on camera like
Mhm.
performing. I've never like taken I've never taken things that people throw at me, and I never took it like with disrespect. I always like I love encouragement. As a former like athlete, like I used to play basketball like
Mhm.
a lot, like I was on teams and stuff. I always took criticism very well, you know. So
That's good. That's a good trait that a lot of people don't have.
I don't take things personally because
Yeah.
if you're giving me, I'd rather you tell me to my face that things aren't
Correct.
going the
Yeah.
right way than, hold on, it's okay, it's all right. I'd rather you tell me to my face that things aren't going the right way
Mhm.
than you talk about me behind my back and
And
like
saying how bad you're.
and saying
Yeah.
and like instead of like because if you were trying to help me, you would at least there's always criticism. I feel like there's always ways to get better.
Bro, the realest people in your life will be the ones that criticize you. And there's a difference between criticism and just disrespecting people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you gotta be honest and open communication's always needed. I feel like I always appreciate that too,
Yeah,
honestly. Like
I take it
it's necessary.
I take it like a man.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of anything that goes wrong. I feel like things that are going wrong are like a test to all the things that you're doing right.
Mhm.
Like you should be able to handle the things that aren't perfect because nothing will ever be exactly the way it should be. But
True.
it's your job to organize it and to live with it.
Mhm.
And I feel that as many opportunities as life is going to give you or give me, I think that it's just as important to embrace the things that we are going to experience,
Mhm.
like brace for it, like be careful, but also like I think just walking and living with the results is just as important, I feel.
I agree 100%. Like um I wanted to build kind of like slay away from this topic
Cool.
and like go toward it's still a little bit connected.
You had a question to ask me earlier.
Yeah,
I don't know if you were.
I wanted to know like what's your purpose moving forward like, and I know that kind of just sounds like a
Here, look, hold on,
yeah,
let me give you the book.
yeah, like
There you
talk to me,
go.
talk to me. But like what's your purpose moving forward? Like, would you consider yourself a purpose driven man? Do you have any goals that you want to accomplish?
Whew. I guess in terms of purpose, in terms of life as a whole, one thing that I
You don't
want
have to have an answer either. Like,
no.
yeah.
I have an answer,
Mhm.
but obviously the answer is going to change as I grow and
Oh
as
yeah.
I learn new things. But right now, I feel like the one thing that I'm heading towards purpose wise is, I guess, just to represent people like me who are ambitious in a way that are too afraid or feel like the world isn't going the way that they expected them to, and to
Mhm.
give them some glimmer of light, some hope. I
Mhm.
think hope is necessary in the world. Hopelessness is a great sin, I believe.
Mhm.
People who are stuck in that mindset, I feel that it's such a sin that to believe that things are not going to work out, because I think if there is a God, if there is a being out there
Mhm.
who is looking out for you, no matter where you start, I feel like he's always looking for opportunities to better your life.
Yo, a lot of people don't realize this, but you're your own worst competitor. And not you, it's your doubts, it's your disbeliefs, your insecurities. That's what's stopping you from being your best self.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that.
I think that the best characteristic that one could have, right,
Mm.
is to, I mean, this is my quote that I live by. It's aim for paradise, but concentrate on today.
Mhm.
You know, you aim for the best, but you worry about the day-to-day things that are helping you get there.
Mhm.
Because one good day can make a good week can make a good month, and a good month can
It's
make a good
about the
year.
journey, yeah.
It's about the step by step.
Mhm.
It's the daily things that you apply every day, right? That's gonna convert your life into the paradise that
Because,
you build.
yo, eventually you're gonna get there. Like, have that, manifest that mindset. Eventually you're gonna get there. It's about how you're gonna get there. And
Attract that
yeah,
energy in your life.
bro, facts. Like, attract the people that are gonna help you get there. Attract the knowledge that's gonna help you get to that point. Really search for it.
And the reason why you aim to begin with is because, like, if you have an aim, and I want to quote Jordan Peterson, he's one of my favorite authors.
Mhm.
Aiming is key. Aiming at anything and shooting for it, right, in life is always going to be, or always going to have a better outcome
Mhm.
than choosing not to aim at anything at all,
That's true.
right? Like, you may not, like, for example, like, there's a dog playing right now. If that dog doesn't catch the ball the first try, he learned
Okay.
how he's supposed to maneuver himself the next time
Facts.
someone throws a ball.
Facts.
In life, when the ball gets thrown and you have to chase something, right? And you're chasing it, you got to make sure how to maneuver yourself in the right direction. And that comes by just moving in the first place. If you don't go after it, you're never going to get it.
Like, you don't. What's that saying? You miss every shot you don't take.
Life isn't about finding yourself.
Mhm.
Life is about, wait, let me say it again. Sorry, that's okay. It's all good.
I wasn't sure.
It's life is not about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself.
Mhm.
Create your surroundings. Find good people.
Mhm.
Shoot for goals that maybe look intangible, but one day in your life when you're working towards it,
Mhm.
it's reachable. And that is the key. And I think that doesn't have a definite answer. There's
Word.
nothing is black and white, like you said. Things are gray. So if life is mostly gray, then embrace the gray.
Yo, embrace the gray. Like, yo, like,
Embrace it, bro.
yeah.
Embrace the gray in
I
your
wore
life.
gray for a reason. Like,
All right.
I did it. Wait, I
No,
wanted to touch
go
on
ahead.
the book a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
tell me about, like, is that like one of your favorite books at the moment?
Oh, I'm basically done with the second one, but the first book that I read was The 12 Rules of Life.
Mhm.
The second book that I'm currently reading, or I'm almost done with, is Beyond Order.
Okay.
So 12 Rules of Life was really awesome. I felt that there were a lot of rules in there that I recognized, and I felt that were applicable at some point and that I conquered. One of my favorite rule is be better than who you were yesterday,
Mhm.
not to who someone else is today.
Okay, I like that.
If you look at somebody today
Mhm.
and you're worried about how they wear their suit,
Mhm.
or you're worried about how they look and how fit they are, or you look at their watch and you realize that you're not there financially.
Mhm.
You're worried about somebody who worked on themselves to get to their position now,
Mhm.
instead of worrying about yourself working towards the goals that you want to achieve.
Worry about your own journey.
Worry-
You don't have the same journey.
It's not mind your business, but it's look at people and don't get upset.
Yeah.
It's look at people and aim to be not necessarily like them, because you're never going to be them,
Mhm.
but aim to be the best version of yourself.
Facts.
Don't aim to be somebody else. Use them as like almost like a vision.
Mhm.
But the true vision is internal, right? The true person you look in the mirror is every day is yourself. So if you don't pay attention to the details of your life, you're never going to really get to the place that you dream that you're going to be.
Bro, like, I'm glad that you kind of brought that up, because that's kind of, I read a book similar. It's not like, it's not a similar book, but like it has a similar message. I don't know if you're familiar with the artist Prince.
No, but go ahead. Talk about
So
it.
basically, he wrote it's like an autobiography. It's called The Beautiful One,
Mhm.
and I really like that. I read that book recently. I bought it for my mom for her birthday, but I stole the book for a little bit because I was curious about it. In the book, I really appreciated it because he talked about, one, like a lot of the things that you just mentioned, but also what it means to be brilliant and what it means to be unique, but also be your best self, and really not caring about what other people think, but caring about your own journey and appreciating the journey, appreciating the people around you, their journeys as well, but also really focusing on the journey that you have.
And being
forward.
self-aware.
Yeah.
Self-awareness.
Mhm.
I feel like you said, when you were saying that you want to conquer the world, or you want to like get to every place and touch as many people as you can and get to as many lives as you could, it's like the problem isn't the ambition. The problem is not recognizing where your ambition has its limits. Like if you don't have people that tell you that, hey, you know, like holding you down, making sure like you're doing things with good ethics, with reminding you that God's always watching, you know, make sure that you follow the principles that you started with.
Bro,
like I'm gonna wear this watch even when I'm like financially like liberated. Like whenever like I feel like my life has gotten completed or stabilized, I'm still gonna wear the same watch, because just because I'm here right now wearing this watch doesn't mean that the watch doesn't have any value to me in the future. The things that you end up with don't mean that the things that you went through were meaningless.
Remember
like I feel like remember where you came from, remember your country, remember the place you grew up in, the things that, you know, although you may not think it was important, it definitely played a factor.
Bro, I don't know where I'm gonna be in like 10, 20 years, but no matter what, I'm always gonna rep where I'm from, represent the people that had an impact on my life, no matter what. Like, remember, humble yourself. Like, remember who was there no matter what. Like, your upbringing is so important to the person that you are now, even if you may not feel like it.
Yeah.
It's super important.
Anything else you want to say, or we're gonna wrap it up?
Shoot, yeah, we can wrap it up. But like, honestly, I just want to thank you for this opportunity. Appreciate it. I feel like we had a great talk. Yeah, I feel like I've never done something like this, so it was a great opportunity.
No, appreciate you for coming out, speaking your truth, enlightening the people at home or wherever you're watching this video. I think it's critical for our community at Baruch, and I think it's critical for any college student that comes in and takes a new look at life, because I want to inspire people to see the future and don't be afraid. Like, don't be afraid of the outcome, guys. Don't be afraid of the things that are going to happen. Maliq is an example. He said that he really didn't have an idea, and look at him now. Like, the opportunities are basically coming at him now. So it's like it's not about where you start, but it's how you finish. All right. Thank you, Maliq, so much. Thank you for watching the episode. Appreciate it so much. Click subscribe. I'm not corny. I'm not gonna say it again.
Hit that bell button.
Nah. I don't post all the time, but when I do, make sure you watch it, because I have good people for you. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day.
All right.